Nikola Tesla remains one of the most fascinating and complex figures in the history of science and human thought. He was a man whose intellect seemed to operate decades, if not centuries, ahead of his time. Yet, his life also reflects a painful paradox. The mind that could see beyond the boundaries of ordinary human imagination ultimately turned against itself. His story is not only about invention and discovery, but also about obsession, solitude, and the unbearable weight of genius. Born in 1856 in the village of Smiljan in what is now Croatia, Tesla grew up in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. His father was a Serbian Orthodox priest, and his mother, though uneducated, possessed remarkable inventive abilities. From childhood, Tesla displayed an extraordinary memory and a powerful imagination. He could visualize machines in his mind in complete detail before ever putting them on paper. This ability, what he called visualization, was both his gift and his curse. He saw concepts as luminous shapes, often accompanied by bursts of light and overwhelming clarity. Later in life, he would admit that this ability sometimes blurred the line between imagination and reality. Tesla's education was irregular. He studied engineering in Graz and Prague, but never formally graduated. His intellect, however, was unmistakable. He was drawn to electricity, the mysterious, invisible force that promised to transform the world. By his 20s, he was already experimenting with alternating current, AC, convinced that it would surpass the direct current, DC systems, then promoted by Thomas Edison. Tesla's early professional life took him from Europe to New York City, where he arrived in 1884 with little more than a letter of recommendation and 4 cents in his pocket. His first encounter with Thomas Edison would become legendary. Tesla admired Edison's practical genius, but was shocked by his lack of scientific rigor. Edison valued trial and error. Tesla sought perfection through mathematics and theory. The two men embodied two distinct worlds, the pragmatic American inventor and the visionary European thinker. Their collaboration quickly turned into rivalry. When Tesla proposed improving Edison's DC system with more efficient designs, Edison reportedly dismissed the idea and failed to pay Tesla the promised reward. Feeling betrayed, Tesla left Edison's company to pursue his own path. Tesla's ideas were radical. He believed that alternating current, transmitted over long distances with minimal loss, would be the foundation of modern civilization. Most engineers of the time considered this impossible. Yet, Tesla's designs for AC motors and transformers proved that it could be done. With the support of industrialist George Westinghouse, Tesla built the foundation of what became known as the War of Currents. Edison, whose business relied on DC systems, launched a brutal campaign to discredit AC, claiming it was dangerous. Public demonstrations even involved electrocution of animals to prove Edison's point. Tesla, however, persisted, and the results were undeniable. AC power could light entire cities. The victory came at the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where Tesla's AC system illuminated the fairgrounds, an event that symbolized the dawn of the electrical age. Tesla's contributions during this period were astonishing. He developed the induction motor, high-frequency oscillators, and the Tesla coil, devices that still underpin modern electrical engineering. He experimented with radio waves years before Marconi, envisioned wireless communication, and spoke of transmitting energy through the Earth's atmosphere. Many of his ideas were so advanced that they sounded like science fiction. He imagined handheld communication devices, global energy networks, and even directed energy weapons. For Tesla, these were not dreams, but logical extensions of physical principles. Yet Tesla's brilliance was matched by his inability to navigate the world of business. He was uninterested in money and often careless about patents. After selling the rights to his AC patents to Westinghouse, he declined further royalties that could have made him one of the richest men in the world. His focus remained entirely on discovery. He once said, "Money does not represent value to me, unless it expresses a direct contribution to the progress of humanity." This idealism, while noble, left him financially vulnerable. In the late 1890s, Tesla turned his attention to wireless energy transmission. He believed that electrical power could be sent through the air or the ground without wires. To prove it, he built a massive laboratory in Colorado Springs, where he conducted spectacular high-voltage experiments. Eyewitnesses reported bolts of lightning more than 100 feet long shooting from his coils. With thunder heard miles away, Tesla claimed he could transmit electricity across the planet and even communicate with other planets. He was convinced that energy was everywhere, waiting to be harnessed. This vision culminated in his most ambitious project, the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island. Funded initially by J.P. Morgan, the project aimed to create a global system for wireless communication and power distribution. Tesla envisioned a world where ships, cities, and homes would receive energy directly from the Earth's natural electrical field. But as costs grew and his explanations became increasingly abstract, Morgan withdrew support. The tower remained unfinished. It was later dismantled and sold for scrap. This failure marked the beginning of Tesla's long decline. By the early 20th century, Tesla's reputation began to fade. New technologies and competitors overshadowed him. His once futuristic visions now seemed eccentric, even delusional. He lived increasingly in isolation, moving between hotels in New York City. He continued to file patents, some for practical inventions, others bordering on the fantastic. He spoke of death rays, anti-gravity machines, and communication with other planets. Newspapers both mocked and admired him. To some, he was a genius misunderstood by the world. To others, he was a symbol of brilliance lost to madness. Tesla's personal life became as unusual as his theories. He never married and claimed that celibacy enhanced his intellectual powers. He developed obsessive behaviors, including a compulsion to wash his hands repeatedly and a fixation on the number 3. He avoided physical contact, refused to shake hands, and was hypersensitive to light and sound. These traits suggest what modern psychology might classify as obsessive-compulsive tendencies and sensory hypersensitivity. Yet, in Tesla's mind, they were part of maintaining mental precision and purity. In his later years, his eccentricities deepened. He became fascinated by pigeons, feeding and caring for hundreds of them around New York. He claimed to communicate with a particular white pigeon, saying that he loved her as a man loves a woman. When she died, Tesla reportedly said that a light left his life forever. These statements, while poetic, also revealed the extent of his loneliness and mental decline. His mind, once capable of imagining electrical networks spanning the globe, had turned inward, consumed by isolation and fragile dreams. Tesla's later life was marked by poverty and obscurity. He lived in small hotel rooms, often unable to pay rent. Despite this, he continued to write to scientific organizations and government agencies, offering advice and proposing new inventions. During World War II, he sent letters to the U.S. military outlining ideas for advanced weapons and radar systems, some of which were later realized by others. Even in his final years, he remained convinced that he was on the verge of a breakthrough that would change humanity forever. He died alone in 1943 at the age of 86 in a room at the New Yorker Hotel. His belongings were seized by the U.S. government under the Alien Property Custodian. Although he was not an alien, the contents of his papers, notebooks, and designs became the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories. After his death, Tesla's legacy entered a long period of neglect. For decades, history celebrated Edison, Westinghouse, and Marconi, while Tesla remained a footnote. Only in the late 20th century did a new generation rediscover his work. Physicists, engineers, and historians began to recognize that much of modern electrical infrastructure, the polyphase system, AC motors, radio transmission, and wireless communication, originated from Tesla's insights. His name, once forgotten, became synonymous with innovation. In the 21st century, it adorns one of the most famous technology companies in the world, symbolizing the rebirth of visionary engineering. But behind the modern fascination lies a more profound question. What does Tesla's life tell us about the limits of human genius? He lived entirely for ideas, detached from ordinary life. His work blurred the boundary between science and metaphysics, between invention and imagination. He believed that energy, thought, and nature were part of one universal system, a belief closer to mysticism than physics. His intellect consumed him, driving him toward discoveries but also into isolation. The very mind that illuminated the world also alienated him from it. Tesla's psychological collapse can be viewed through several lenses. Biographers have debated whether his breakdown was due to exhaustion, neurological illness, or the cumulative effects of years of sensory and emotional strain. His brain seemed to operate on a level of constant stimulation, unable to rest. He often went days without sleep, surviving on little food and endless mental work. His notebooks reveal a mind simultaneously brilliant and tormented, filled with precise diagrams alongside grandiose visions of world salvation. Today, Nikola Tesla stands as a symbol of the dual nature of genius. His inventions shape every aspect of modern life, from the power grid to radio and radar, yet his personal story remains a cautionary tale. He reminds us that the boundary between brilliance and madness is thin, that imagination can both illuminate and consume. His mind reached further than almost anyone's before or since, but in doing so, it eventually lost its grip on the world around him.